Pro Shops Cup Series, Round 5 of Season 2 from North Carolina. Starting on the pole will be Tim Baker, and alongside him will be Greg Jones. Now here's the rest of your lineup. Christian James, Chris Summers, Gino Harvey, Tom Wayne, John Andretti, Bridget Fairley, Dylan Schwallenberg, Josh Courier, Christian Baker, Courtney Barlow, CJ Lorca, David Scott, Ralph Green, Josh Mabe, Steve Dillon, Sean Galligan, Brendan Aumann, Colin Cropley, Colin Wills, Jordan Spencer, Christian Brandon, Matthew Lube, Garrett Jones, Josh Gwynn, Kurt Kozlowski, Alex Filter, Mary Baker, Timmy Pacioli, Ziggy Bain, Bryce Harvey, Greg Brown, Chris McLean, Courtney Simpson, John Dillon, Matthew Bullock, Dougie Shears, Michael Harvey, Hunter Stone, Phil Jones, and rounding out the field will be Thomas Shane. And as the cars roll off, well, they're about to. And, alright, cars are starting to fire up right now. And Tim Baker will lead them off. I think he's had a pole before, so I don't think this is his first one, but I don't think he's ever won, so that'd be an accomplishment if he could win his first ever race. This is the 2008 version of North Carolina. It was repaved in 2008, and they added new safer barriers, and the Camping World Truck Series were raced there in the 2012 season. But here we go, green flags in the air. Tim Baker will lead them off into turn 1. Christian James has won twice of the first 4 races, or 2 of the first 4 races, not twice of the first 4. That doesn't make sense. Down into turn 3 and 4. Tim Baker looks like he will hold off the field and lead lap 1. And, yep, he will right now. Into turn 1, side by side for second. Christian James slides up the racetrack. And I think we may have a spin. And David Scott is retiring from the race. I'm not sure. Oh, we have a wreck. The pace car is not pulling off. Looks like there's a few cars involved in that. And yet there's the smoke. And oh, huge wreck. Greg Brown's almost upside down, and Bridget Fairley is. We'll have to get a replay. Tim Baker is going to win the race back to the line, it looks like. What a huge crash. We'll get a replay right now. Well, when you come to a track like this, you know that 3 wide will not work. These guys did not understand that. Right here, John Andretti pinches him up into the wall, and they all slam and clobber the wall. And then watch this right here. All these cars are piling in. All of a sudden, you see the 29 barrel rolling. Watch the 7. He gets hit. Same with Josh Gwynn. They're upside down. Colin Cropley's upside down. There's the pace car. He doesn't exactly know where to go right here. But everybody's just flipping upside down. This has just got to be wild for some of these cars, especially John Andretti. That had to be crazy for him. Josh Gwynn came into this race. I think he was second in points. See what happened to him. We'll go on board with the 32. That'll be interesting. He went upside on after he got into the back of the 32. Here we go. Real time. That is not something you would enjoy riding through. But one more thing that we should check out right now is the other crash that did not bring out a caution. That looks like, I believe Courtney Simpson was involved in it. She was the only one that we saw with real damage. David Scott was retiring from the race, but he didn't get much damage. Oh, looks like there's a wreck in front of her, and she wasn't able to go anywhere besides right into somebody. Yeah, it looks like, oh, Bryce Harvey was the first one around in this. What happened to Bryce here? Oh, he just got hit by Pacioli. Slams the wall. And oh wow, that was a huge wreck actually. Well, not a huge wreck, but pretty hard wreck. Alright, now let's get back to the restart. We're about a lap away from the restart, but we got going early here to see some of these cars and where they're running. Tim Baker will restart on point, and then Greg Jones, Christian James, Tom Wayne, Chris Summers, and Gino Harvey. Chris Summers actually rounded out your top 5. And Gino Harvey 6th, Christian Baker, Steve Dillon, Dylan Schwallenberg, and Brendan Nauman your top 10. Chris McLean, Greg Brown, Garrett Jones, Josh Mabe, and Courtney Barlow your top 15. And then Ralph Green, Hunter Stone, Sean Galligan, CJ Lorca, Dougie Shears, Bryce Harvey, Kurt Kozlowski, and Josh Courier will round out the field. David Scott, I believe, is a lap down. Yep, just 1 lap down. Okay, he's on lap 6. The leaders are on lap 7. So we'll restart lap 8 of 20. We'll be getting close to halfway. Rains are in the area, so if we get past halfway and it starts to rain, the race will be over if we can't get it cleaned up in time. But the green flag's back in the air, and Tim Baker leads them down into turn 1. Single file restarts cause for pretty mild restarts, but Greg Jones looks like he might want to change that here, up off 2, 3 wide further back. Looks like everybody's going to survive their first lap of green flag racing after the restart. Off of turn 4, everything looks to be okay. Alright, back up to the leaders. Tim Baker leads. If he could lead every lap and win, that'd be cool for him. Oh, there's a wreck in the back. The 8 car, Greg Brown, is almost upside down. Let's get a replay. Tim Baker is going to win the race back to the line again, but we'll get a look at a replay of the 8 car's wreck. And wait, are we under caution is the question. Yeah, we're under caution. Here's the replay of Greg Brown. He had a huge stretch of momentum down the entire front straightaway, and he carried it too far into turn 1. He hit Hunter Stone, drove him up the track. It looked like he was maybe going to be able to get off him, but then they just both slid up, and they hit the wall. They could have survived it, but they weren't able to. David Scott, that ends his day. He was a lap down, so it didn't look like he was in contention either way, but that pretty much wrapped it up for him. There's David Scott, Dougie Shears, looks like Brendan Nauman, and Hunter Stone were the cars in that wreck, so let's get back to the restart. We're about 3/4 of a lap away from the restart. Tim Baker will restart on the point, and then Greg Jones, Christian James, Chris Summers, and Tom Wayne is your top 5. Then Gino Harvey, Christian Baker, Steve Dillon, Dylan Schwallenberg, and Chris McLean is your top 10. Josh Mabe, Garrett Jones, Sean Galligan, Courtney Barlow, and Ralph Green, your top 15. And rounding out the field will be Brendan Nauman. And here's a flyby, so you can see where you are if I didn't name you off if you're in the top 15. Oh, looks like we got cut off a little bit early. Maybe it only showed about the top 15 there. Alright, but up off of turn number 4, they will restart on lap 14 of 20, where if we get a caution, maybe about 3 laps into that, maybe even just 2, we might be done for the race. Here we go, green flag's back in the air. Tim Baker leads him down. He might be the only leader today if Greg Jones can't do anything with him here. Oh no, he will be able to as he comes down the back stretch. There's such a small amount of cars left in this race that I don't think we have enough to bring up too many more cautions if we even get another one. Here comes Christian James to the inside. And there's contact between the 2 leaders. And across the line, Greg Jones leads that lap. Christian James was scored in 2nd. And they're starting to get a little bit tight up off the turn here. And looks like further in the back, we did not see a few of these cars that we should have, but they were all okay. Just didn't exactly get good restarts. Greg Jones leads. We're on lap 16 of 20. Who's going to win it? None of our top 3 would be all that surprising, but 4th place Tom Wayne. he'd be an underdog winner, and that'd be cool to see. There he goes. He's going to maybe try to bump the 99 of Christian James, but he wasn't able to get to him. Here we go. Greg Jones leads that time around. We'll take 3 to go when we come back around. A caution right now would end the race. Checking through the field here, making sure we don't have a caution, and we do not. So, back to the leader. Greg Jones leads, just 3 laps to go. Tim Baker has the fastest car. And Tom Wayne is starting to close in a little bit, but he can't get around Christian James, and now Chris Summers has gotten to the inside of him, and now Christian Baker's going to make it 3 wide. Greg Jones leads off of turn number 4. 2 laps to go for Greg Jones. Can he hold off the pack? And into turn 1 and 2, it looks like Christian James might finally be able to make the pass on Baker. And no, he's just going to stay in line. It's like he's not going to make his move. Up off 4, can we have another new winner this year? Greg Jones would be a new winner. White flag is in the air. This is going to be our first race that we end under green flag conditions. As long as we can race back around without any crashes, they'd bring out a caution. They're getting single file in the back. It's looking good for Greg Jones to win his first ever race. Off of turn number 4, across the line, Greg Jones is going to win his first ever Bass Pro Shops Cup Series race. Congratulations to Greg Jones and the entire 21 Motorcraft team on a well-deserved win, but we have a few cars off the pace. Not sure if they are just damaged from the wreck or if they ended up going for a little bit of a spin. I have a feeling they'd be a lap down if they went for a spin. I think they just had bad cars after wrecking. Yeah, they restarted right behind the pack, but then pretty much the second the green flag came out, they were pretty much out of it. All right. But back to the front of the pack. And the cars are pulling down onto pit road, so we'll get your official results. Here are your official results. Greg Jones won the race over Tim Baker by about 0.2 of a second. Then a few notables here. Steve Dillon finished 8th. That is his best finish of the season. Hunter Stone, 17th, had a pretty good day. He ended up falling off the pace towards the end of the race. David Scott was I guess Kurt Kozlowski was the last car on the lead lap. And from 24th to 42nd, they all retired due to a crash. Courtney Simpson rounded out your field. Thomas Shane, Phil Jones were the bottom 3 cars. So, congratulations once again to Greg Jones, and we'll get his burnouts in the ending thing. That's kind of cool to see. Congratulations to Greg Jones on a well-deserved win at North Carolina.